Hey, what's up guys, Brad here. So today I have a bit of a precursor to next week's Master Duel coverage over in Gamescom. Of course, Konami did announce that we're getting some brand new news information between the 25th and 27th. No hard date just yet, but I presume that early next week they'll say, you know what, on the 26th, we're showing information, look forward to it, that'll be pretty cool. But we have had some new gameplay shown off via VJump the past week or so. We had a first look at Sea Summoning, we had Thunder Dragon Colossus coming out and Titan coming out, we had Borosaur coming out, attacking for game, activating its effects, seeing how that kind of works. And so, we've seen gameplay, right, but we don't know anything else. So today, we're going to go through my 5 hopes and dreams for the reveal, we'll talk about monetization, and hopefully some of these can come true. If all of them, that'll be insane. Let's dive right in. But of course, before we do, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. We're working towards 50k, we're getting very, very close up there, so a big thanks to everyone who subscribed recently. So, first of all, the big thing I want in Master Duel is a draft mode. This is something that we've had in Legacy of the Duelist, we've had in, Pokemon has... Does Pokemon have it? No. Magic has it, Hearthstone has it, Runeterra has it, and they could do something very unique here with a custom format card pool, right? Battle pack style, but with things from, the new era, the old era, combine it together, rotate sets out every month or so, every 2 weeks, have a very healthy format, you can buy in, and when you get those cards will be added to your collection to use, and you can have, rewards like gold or gems or cosmetics or rarity upgrades, that kind of thing for your card collection. I think draft mode is one of the most fun things to do in a card game. In Legacy of the Duelist, the original one, I played that a ton, and so that mode would really just sell Master Duel for me. Even if the game was nothing else, I would play draft like 24/7. I would love it. Konami, let's do it. Next, a pretty simple one that I think they're going to do 100%. If they don't, then they've been, that's a bit of a bad sign, is crossplay and cross progression. Now, cross progression I could actually see them kind of not doing. If they were going to do one of them and they had to do one of them, then crossplay is kind of it. You need to have crossplay in your game. Cross progression is nice because you can then, play on the toilet and then play on your PlayStation, on your PC, on your tablet, on your Steam Deck, whatever, wherever you want. And so, without crossplay, the game just dies, right? It becomes a Legacy of the Duelist with a bit more support from Konami, which is nice and all, but Legacy of the Duelist really got hindered by the fact that you had 4 platformers and you were limited by that audience. So if you're on Xbox, you were screwed because no one played the game on Xbox. If you're on PC, you're even more screwed because that game was dead as a dead fish. Kind of, it was just completely dead. But Switch and PlayStation were pretty active for the most part, but having your entire player base under one pool is always going to be better than not. And given that we know that the format is going to be split between OG and TCG, you don't want to split that even further down to platform, especially when a region like Japan, you don't want it to be even smaller than it already is. Thirdly, trial decks. I think the monetization model, we'll talk about it a bit later, is going to be pretty fair on how you acquire cards. But in a game with over 10,000, 12,000 cards now, you're going to need a way to actually try those cards out before you buy them, especially for new players or less seasoned players. They're not going to go in and go, you know what, I'm going to buy that Drytron deck and I'm going to invest all my currency and stuff into a deck I don't know how it plays if I enjoy it. And so having a, ideally, right, it would be a way to test any card you want against an AI and it wouldn't matter, right? It'd be kind of like YJ Pro, but just without the online. But I don't think they'll do that. I feel like the better way from a usability and consumer standpoint is to give them a weekly rotating trial deck to use. It could be multiple choice, right? You could choose from multiple ones, and maybe you have a certain amount of unranked wins with them, and then afterwards they disappear, or the list is added to your collection, and then you can go and buy the cards then on to try and build that deck, build it up, and use it in actual ranked and actual events. And I feel like that's a fun way of showing off new content as well, right? Is if we get let's take for example the game came out 2 months ago, right? And Dawn of Majesty isn't out yet, but Dawn of Majesty was coming up. So you could sit there and go, you know what? We have the Despia deck coming out. Why not give them a Despia trial deck to see how that plays? And kind of working into that, having pre-release events for for boxes and card sets, early access, not, in a pay-to-win kind of way, right? Not like restricted to content creators or something, but like they did, like they used to do back for the TCG, you'd have pre-release events, you go there, you get 5 packs of cards, and then you'd build a deck, have a tournament, and then win prizes based on how you actually positioned in that tournament. I think having a digital platform makes that super easy and way more accessible, because then any time in the day, all over the world, you can play with the brand new cards, a week early, a week before the set comes out. And even then, they might release the sets early, right? They might think, you know what, as a way to push Master onto people, let's bring out the next set, Burst of Destiny, on people a week before it comes out in a TCG, before we can actually buy it. That would be a pretty big sell. And finally, the monetization model. The big question, the big elephant in the room, the one I think people are most interested in seeing how that kind of plays out. And I think it's going to be very, very similar to Runeterra. If you don't know how that works, basically you don't ever buy card packs. There's no buying card packs RNG. You can buy any card you want for free from the get-go, right? The entire card pool is available for free. You just have to work up to it by, by grinding out the events, grinding out PvP, doing missions, weekly missions, daily missions, that kind of thing, and getting crafting materials, essence, resources, wildcards to build up your deck. I think for a game like Yu-Gi-Oh! With 12,000 cards, you cannot do the pack system. Because if it's anything like Legacy of the Duelist, then that's a turn-off, because then people have to go and try and find, go out their way to find out what packs certain cards are in, and you have a crazy, crazy low chance of a drop rate happening there. Whereas if you give the player access to build the decks they want to, not immediately for free, right? We're not saying give them every card off the bat for free, go wild, because I think that's very bad for a card economy, and it's very hard to kind of sit there and go, right, if cosmetics don't work out, our game is absolutely fucked. If we try and sell on cosmetics only, and it doesn't work, this game will die. Just simple as. So, having a model where you can buy any card you want just by playing the game, getting materials, and then if you want to, day one, you could go and buy 60 wild cards and buy yourself your 40 card main deck, your 15 card X deck, okay, let's go 70, 15 card side deck for Drytron, or Tri Brigade, or Salomon Great, or Kotalk, or whatever you want. You could have that option. But also you could just play the game free to play and grind it out and take some time, but build towards a deck you want, right? And then obviously have other events and stuff that give you some random cards, random wild cards, that kind of thing. But have it, have some progression to the game. Whereas with a straight simulator with all the cards day one, you don't get that. And with that, you get some overbearingness, I think, for new players, right? For people that are coming into the game, you get a sense that there's too much here. And you get that also with a card pack, right? With a card shop full of packs for 12,000 cards, you also get that. So I think they're in a very weird spot, right? For how they do the monetization model, it's definitely the odds are against them, right? Because either way, you're going to get some small portion of the percentage of the players that are, outraged, they won't quit Dueling Book, the monetization model sucks, but then they're putting this on every platform under the sun. They want this to be big, and so they aren't going to sit there and put the whole card pool behind a subscription model, because that would alienate 99% of the players. They won't do that, but they'll try and, I'd hope they make it fair, right? In the middle, a middle ground, make it fair. Hopefully not like Duel Links, not packs, but being able to just grind out the cards like traditional console games, but taking a bit longer time and having options to kind of build the deck you want if you want to pay money, off the get-go. I think that's a relatively fair system that would actually work out quite well. Yeah, that was a rambly video, right? I think I just kind of sat there and screamed at the camera for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, it's actually been 10 minutes. Wow, that time flies when you're having fun talking absolute nonsense. But anyway, let me know down below what you think is going to happen at the Gamescom event to reveal new information. We could literally just get a fucking screenshot that just says, hey, look, normal summon Alistair the Invoker. They could do that, right? But I think we're going to get something big, whether it's some actual, news on the actual events in the game or monetization. It's one of those two. it's not, and I think that then it will wait till TGS, Tokyo Game Show, in late September to get the nail in the coffin, the final kicker, the beta or the release date for the actual game, because I feel like it's way further on than we're led to believe. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Hopefully later this week we'll have some Duel Links content because we know that that game's been dry as hell. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you then.